What exactly is a strength-based profile, and how can this help you find the perfect job or start the perfect business that fits for you, right? Now, I'm going to say this in simple terms before we go more into detail, but imagine a cheat sheet that shows you exactly where you thrive in your career, right? And this cheat sheet is something that you can take or something that you can do that doesn't have to take so much time, maybe less than 5 minutes. And it just clearly maps out your entire career or personal profile of where your strengths are at its highest. Now, that exactly is a strength-based profile. It's basically a snapshot of what you're naturally awesome at, presented as a career blueprint, presented as your career blueprint. And so you could say that a strength-based profile, you can think of it as like a resume for your talents, right? Not just your skills, right? So this is something that's highlighting your superpowers instead of just showing your experience of jobs that you've done. So in case you don't know, my name is Chonosi and I've helped many aspiring entrepreneurs build business plans. But I also know what it's like to be lost. I was once a student as well, lost and didn't know where to go right after graduation. And that's why I'm passionate about the tools that I talk about, because they help turn confusion into clarity, helping you find real-world actionable opportunities. So now let's go back to talking about the strength-based profile in detail. What exactly is it? One career coach describes a strength-based profile as an assessment that uncovers your natural talents, what comes naturally to you and what naturally energizes you. In other words, it focuses on what you love to do and do well, rather than what you can do out of necessity. Sounds pretty empowering, right? So now the question is, how does this differ, or how does it look like on a traditional CV or a resume? Or is this something that comes in your cover letter? It's actually a personalized profile that comes from an assessment that you take, which primarily focus on your passion, your personality, and your ability to adapt. All of them instilled into actionable insights. So this one really zeroes in on the things that you're actually strong and good at. Unlike other assessments which highlight some of your weaknesses, a strength-based profile flips the script. It even goes even further to highlight what's already working for you and how you actually even leverage from it, right? So if you're understanding the meaning behind it, this is something that shows you when your strengths are at its highest and when your strengths even present themselves. And let's be real, we sometimes spend even too much time worrying about our weaknesses, how we can develop these weaknesses, how we can turn these weaknesses into strengths, rather than how to make the best out of the strengths we already have and how to identify when these strengths are at its highest. Starting a business or finding a job can feel so overwhelming. It's kind of like throwing darts in the dark. Oh, and trust me, I've been there. You start to ask yourself, like, am I even cut out for this? Why does every job search become a dead end? This is where the strength-based profile really comes in handy. It brings immediate clarity, making you understand where you actually now need to focus on. One user described that before using it, it felt overwhelming. Now I know where I'm going and how to get there. Mapping my passions, strengths, and skills was a total game changer. Now that is the power of knowing yourself. There's a solid science behind this too. Research by Gallup found that people who use their strengths every day are 6 times more likely to engage at work. 6 times! Engaged employees or entrepreneurs are happier and more productive, and they're more likely to stick to their goals for even a longer period of time. Gallup also discovered that focusing on building your strengths is actually far more effective for improving performance, rather than trying to build or focus on developing your weaknesses. In simple terms, doubling down on what you're actually good at yields more results or even a better performance than trying to work on something that you inherently don't like and would not even like to focus on. And that's why a strength-based profile actually matters. It shines a spotlight on the things that you're good at, not only for you to know, but so that you can use them and so that you know when and how they actually present themselves. Instead of struggling against the grain, you're gonna start realizing that you're gonna align your business or your job along to things that you're actually good at, rather than going in the opposite direction. And what are the results after aligning your job or your business to your strengths? Less drama, more confidence, less frustration, more productivity. It makes those scenarios where you tend to start questioning yourself so much more easier, because you're just gonna feel more confident. You're gonna feel more in the space where you're able to say, hey, I like this. I love this. I know I can do good in this because I have the proof, right? I've done this before. People have seen me. People have complimented me. So there's no reason why I shouldn't start this business. There's no reason why I shouldn't get this job. As per usual, I like to ramble on about why these things are important and what they actually mean. Let's now actually look at the strength-based profile in action. The first question is, where can you actually find a place to do a strength-based profile or to get a strength-based profile? Check out SMRT.bio. SMRT.bio is free, it's available for all platforms, and it's super easy to use. When you get onto the platform after you've registered and created an account, you're immediately going to be told to create or take the strength test, because this is how you enable yourself to create a strength-based profile. And the test that you're going to take on the SMRT.bio platform is actually based on the 16 personality test, which everybody has heard of, knows of, and has been tried and tested. Yeah, I'm talking exactly about the MBTI one that you've probably heard of. But this one is a little bit turbocharged, right? This one actually gives you additional information on how this type of personality that you might pertain will help you in a workplace, or how this will help you as a leader or when you're starting your own company. Myers-Briggs basically sorts out how you prefer to energize, gather information, make decisions, and organize your life. It gives you a 4-letter personality type like, let's say, ESTJ or INFP, which a lot of people use when exploring career options. SMRT.bio takes that concept and makes it practical. The assessment test that you take on the SMRT.bio platform is actually super quick and fun. Think of it not as a test, but more like a game that you have to do where you're asking yourself personal questions, and all you have to do is stay true to yourself, pick the one that feels right, and there's really no wrong answer. You're presented with a series of 52 cards, short prompts like leading a team, analyzing data, networking with new people, etc., etc. It's almost like swiping through your professional interests and instincts. In just those few minutes, the system is piecing together a picture of your personality and passions. And once you're done, this is the cool part, you get your strength-based profile instantly. You don't have to put in your email, you don't have to subscribe to anything or pay for anything, it just pops up. This usually includes your personality type, rooted in those 16 personalities, and a breakdown of what it means for you in the real world. For example, say your results is an ESTJ. In plain English, that might mean you're an extroverted, facts and logic-driven organizer, someone who excels at taking charge, making plans, and getting things done. The profile will spell out traits like highly organized, natural leader, detail-oriented with a focus on practicality. If you've got something like INFP, it would highlight strengths like creativity, empathy, and a big picture thinking. So the key to the test is that it actually turns those alphabet soup letters into workplace strengths that you can actually use. So what's really cool is that SMRT.bio focuses on actionable traits. Yes, it is focused on the MBTI test, which leaves you with vague statements like you're a dreamer, but that's not what SMRT.bio does. It zooms in on how that personality can be a strength at work, what it means as a leader, what it means as a co-worker, or what it means when you're giving advice. Are you a people connector, a problem solver, a strategic thinker? These are all the insights that you will see. It even goes as far as to show you agility, which can also be known as adaptability. And this simply means how quick you can learn or adapt in any given scenario. Oh, and trust me, in this world, that is super important. With the growing technology, the number of places that we go to, the convenience of traveling, the diversification of employees, you need to be able to adapt. In short, the profile displays your unique combination of your strengths, your passion, and adaptability in one clear picture. So now, how does this actually work in a real-life career or business setting? You now know exactly what it means. You also know exactly how it works. But let's put it into practice, using your profile in career and business. Let's start with finding a job. If you're job hunting, finding a job could feel like finding a dense little needle in a desert. Instead of applying to 100 jobs, you can use a strength-based profile to really pinpoint the areas or even the companies where you will thrive. You can even go as far as notifying the company itself that this profile that they're looking for matches yours based on the strength-based profile that you have made. Furthermore, if you're using the SMRT.bio platform, it even shows you at the bottom right corner the success percentage of you being the right fit for the job. Reasons being, your profile might reveal certain valuable insights, such as you thrive in structured environments where you can lead projects. And with that in mind, you're going to start focusing on looking for roles where you're more of a project manager, a systems leader, operations lead, or team supervisor. Positions where those strengths, organization, and leadership are in high demand, right? So it saves you time from finding jobs that you're actually going to excel at, rather than finding jobs where you might be okay at, but you're just gonna be miserable. Well, that's not the only time where this profile actually becomes of great use. Let's talk about like the next step. Let's say that you're actually invited somewhere. You can use these strengths to really highlight yourself, to really sell yourself in interviews, or if you're meeting someone for the first time during networking events. This really gives you a great base to really apply yourself or sell yourself the right way. So you're not forced to go the native way or the more common way where you say, I'm a great employee or I excel at helping people. No, you can actually pinpoint or pick out one of the core traits that are in your profile and use those to your advantage when you're selling yourself. For example, you could say one of my core strengths is creative problem solving. And this could include that you find creative solutions or innovative solutions when there's a lot of pressure. And that is a specific value add, things that people don't hear so often when they're talking to other people. Fun fact, SMRT.bio even allows you to create an AI-generated cover letter or CV when you're applying for a job. It's really just with a few clicks of buttons and it's all there. Now let's talk about the entrepreneurs or the aspiring business owners. How does this help you? A strength-based profile is basically your sanity box. It is your safety net that will keep you sane, right? And the reason why I say this is because when you're starting a business, you'll be forced to wear 1,000 or 1,000,000 hats in the business. You'll be involved in operations, you'll be involved in HR, you're gonna be involved in sales, you're gonna be involved in marketing, you're gonna be involved in production, and these are all just the big heads of what you'll be involved in. Under that, you have also so many subgroups, right? But what's a fact is that you're gonna excel more in certain areas than others. And this strength-based profile will just help you know that way quicker than actually having to experience all these other things. So you can save time. Maybe your profile shows that you're a visionary, a big picture thinker with a ton of intuition and creativity. A classic ENFP or ENTP entrepreneurial vibe. I mean, it's awesome. This just means that you excel at branding, business ideas, innovation, business development as well. But this also just might flag that you're not exactly detailed oriented and might get bored by the daily routine of business. But knowing that means you have the opportunity to plan smart. What does that mean? It means that maybe you can start planning ahead of time so that you know that you have to do certain things, but you will also make time for the big picture stuff. Or it could also mean that you start partnering up with people who are more in tune with the small daily business routines so that you can focus on the big picture routine. And if you're not sure yet of people that you can partner up with, there's so many tools out there that help you automate tasks, automate repetitive work. It's all out there. What is the outcome of this? You will end up building a business that is tailored to your strengths, rather than a business that is draining you because you're doing stuff that you're actually weak at. Let me give you a quick real example. One user, we'll call her Emma, discovered through SMRT.bio profile what her strengths are. It was things like adaptability and networking. She ended up finding a remote job that perfectly fits her lifestyle and ambitions. And she ended up saying, "This guided my career and gave me momentum." Isn't that inspiring? She went from uncertainty to unstoppable because she matched her job to what she likes. On the entrepreneurial side, think of it like this. If you're someone who's more analytical and not really a salesperson, you're gonna start leveraging your business to be more on the analytical side of things. For example, let's say an online data analyst service. And then you're gonna move on forward to bring in someone who focuses on sales. Or you're gonna look for a platform or a tool that just helps you bring in more sales. So you have more time ultimately to focus on your data analysis. This is something that I like to share with a lot of people because I do think that it is true. The strength-based profile, it simply validates that gut feeling that you have about the strengths that you have or things that you're just naturally good at, right? It gives you that confidence as well to finally act on it rather than make you contemplate or think twice about it. Ultimately, this profile makes business and career decisions easier. It makes it so much easier for you to say no to something that you know you will not be good at because the results are there. You're not skilled in it, you don't have the passion in it, and your personality just does not adapt to it. It's easier to shape a business around your strengths because you know where you will shine and you will know where you will ultimately need help. And perhaps most importantly, it allows you to be yourself in a professional atmosphere because you know who you are and what's true to you. And this profile only validates it, making you more confident to accept what you're good at and where you're good at. And when you're operating in your strength zone, you're not only more successful, you're gonna start to feel the sense of fulfillment more often. As one expert puts it, working from your strengths creates one virtuous cycle, where energy, achievement, and satisfaction keep reinforcing each other. Ultimately, this means less burnout and more flow. Isn't this what we all strive for? So now you know what a strength-based profile is, a career cheat sheet that is built around your strengths and shows you what makes you tick. And you also know why it matters, because when you lean into your strengths, you're setting yourself up for success or wealth, whether that's thriving a business or a dream job. You've seen how it works and how it can make life so much easier, whether it means climbing a career ladder or starting a business. Now, after all this information that you've taken in, I want you to go and do something. I want you to go onto SMRT.bio, type it in your browser, make a profile, register, and then try it out. Do the test, right? Do this test because it will save you years of try and error. It will save you years of frustration. It's gonna immediately build confidence and it's gonna validate that gut feeling that you had. And don't just take my word for it. I want you to try it out and then experience that aha moment and start mapping out your future with those results. So what is it exactly that I want you to feel? I want you to feel excited because you've just discovered something new. I want you to feel empowered because now you're gonna know that the information that you're gonna receive or the results that you're gonna receive, it's only validating what you've been feeling internally, but it's now gonna be put on data. The stress of where do I fit or how can I move on forward should start melting away once you have this data in your hands. What should be your takeaways from this entire information? You have unique abilities that are only unique to you. And once you know when they are present, how to hone them, and how they work, you will be unstoppable. The strength-based profile is only a tool that helps you unveil it. Well, you know the saying goes, know thyself. Well, this is knowing thyself, but on turbo mode, backed by psychologists and data. I want you guys to try it out. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.